Why do you think that Mason Mount has struggled a little bit this season? I mean, he was a big signing, you knew him, he seemed a very good fit. I know it does take time, but really surely this is going to be his big week.
But you can look for reasons behind, and there are reasons when you picked up injuries. The back four is not working. We have to make a lot of subs in the back four that have an effect on the balance in the midfield. About the front players, also there we have to make a lot of changes. So then the routines are not there, and then still I think he had his moments where he did very well. But I think it stopped in the moment he got injured.
What's his mood like? I don't know him as a person. How determined is he to kind of try and put things right and be a success here?
Oh, he's top professional, and he's working very hard in training.
Phil. The great United sides of the past, running, titles coming out their ears and European champions and everything. For as well as they played, they always used to say that the first thing they had to do was win the fight to earn the right to play football. Now you're going to have to fight like 3 games on the run, like never before. Everton, who were right in the mess, Galatasaray and Newcastle are really going to come for you. Have you got enough fighters? You said you'd never doubted the footballing ability. Have you got enough fighters and fighting spirit in this squad?
There's just where we emphasized on in the last couple of games. First, get into the fight. When you don't have a left fullback, when you don't have a right winger, when you have to swap your team. Maybe the routines are not 100% working, but make sure you get that foundation by getting into the fight, and make sure you run harder as your opponent. You cover each other. You quick reactions, and that gives you a foundation because our players are very good. They have a lot of skills. They have a lot of abilities. So their football is always in there. So once we have our mindset clear and bright, and we are in that fight, we will find our moments where we can do brilliant things, because our players, and as a group as players, are capable of doing that, and I think we have seen that in the last couple of games, and that's why we won 4 or 5.
Yeah, I know what you're saying, and I know, putting a midfielder to left back and the fact that a player's running for 90 minutes, you can't doubt that. I mean, but to be fair, you can stick Paula Ratcliffe in and she'll run for 90 minutes, but will she be able to stand up to a midfield battle? That's what I mean, in terms of a fight. Someone who'll square up to you. You've got to have, your Keanes, Robsons of the past. Have you got those sort of characters? Or do you think your message has got through to them that that's what they need as well as the talent?
I think the last game showed the personality of the team, and you have seen that players, they stood up and they took the responsibility. They driven the team, they organized the team, and that was the way we got results.
Well, with Rasmus, obviously he's not scored in the Premier League, he's scored in the Champions League, as you say. Those relationships between the forwards and him, do you think they're growing? And do you think it's more of a case of he needs to learn how they operate or how the wingers operate to create more chances for him?
It's growing, but you can see that we're creating chances. So now it's a matter of time, and they will net in the Premier League as well. But if you score in the Champions League, you will also score in the Premier League, and it's just a matter of time.
Simon.
Eric, you mentioned the amount of injuries you've had this season, and I know a lot of them have been caused during games. But as a coach, as a manager, have you examined the intensity of training, and have you reduced that intensity, or is it impossible to compromise when you're playing in the Premier League?
You already answered the question. But look, it's last year we played the most games all across Europe. Last year was a weird year with World Cup in the middle of the season. Every manager is complaining about the shadow. Yesterday I heard a statement of Thomas Tuchel. Every manager, but still they keep adding games to the shadow. Next year they add again 2 games. And the limits are, we already achieved the limits. I think we already across the limits, what players can handle. And then what we see now in the first 12 Premier League games, the standards, so the physical standards are even higher. So in relation to last year, in comparison with last year. So you don't have a choice. Yeah, you have a choice to make. Either you match it, and then you have to train it, and so you have to get preparation, or you drop off. So that is a decision that every club has to make, every team has to make, every individual has to make.
And what was your decision been? That you must train with full intensity, regardless of the injury situation?
No, I don't tell you that. You have to do it smart. But every top player knows, every team knows that you have to suffer and sacrifice. If you want to get prepared for games, then you have to, in certain moments, in the right moments, periodization, you call it. So you have to go to certain levels in your physical if you want to match those standards. And those standards are not set by us, no, it's set by the opposition.
Last question, time. Hi Eric, just on the financial rules more generally. Obviously you couldn't do everything you wanted in the summer transfer window because United are trying to stay within the rules and financial fair play. When you see the Premier League investigating one club, have charged another club, have punished another club, does it feel sort of unfair to you at any point, or is it important that the Premier League take a strong stance to bring about that level playing field and that fairness when you guys are trying to stay within the rules and are suffering for it?
Yeah, but it gives you limitations, and so yeah, you have every time tell me bring this player in, bring this player in. Yeah, but you have to match the FFP rules. So you have to do it, and in those rules, you have to construct the best squad possible.
But does it need to be fair for every club? Every club needs to play by those rules.
I agree. When you set such rules, everyone has to match the rules, because otherwise it's not fair anymore.
So is it good to see the Premier League are taking this seriously?
Yeah, but I don't know everything from it, so I don't know every detail from it. So if you want to drag me in that point, no. I'm not a financial expert. There are others in the club who are dealing with that.